Hello and welcome back to Tidbit of Torah. We are getting ready for Purim. We're getting ready the costumes. We're baking and eating hamantashen. We're delivering mishloach manot, gifts to friends, matanot le'evyonim, gifts to the poor. And we are fasting. Why are we fasting? Because the day leading up to Purim is Ta'anit Esther, the fast of Esther, in which we follow Esther's example of inviting the Jews of Persia, Mordechai, the maidens, and others of her court and of the community to fast as she activates her chutzpah, her voice, and her power to confront the king, King Ahasuerus, and to unravel the evil Haman's plan to destroy the Jews and in turn to save the Jewish people. There are 4 minor fasts, including Ta'anit Esther in the Jewish calendar, which many people don't know about. When we think about fasting in the Jewish calendar, we usually think about the major fasts, which are Yom Kippur and Tisha B'Av, the 9th of Av. Why are they called major fasts? Because they go from sundown to sundown. They're 25-hour fasts. But the 4 fasts of the 17th of Tammuz, the fast of Gedalia, the 10th of Tevet, and the Ta'anit Esther are minor fasts because they're just daytime fasts. And they're lesser known than the major fasts as well. What do they signify? Well, the 17th of Tammuz comes in the summer on the 17th of Tammuz, and it commemorates when the Romans breached the walls of Jerusalem in 70 CE, and it begins the mourning period of 3 weeks that leads up to Tisha B'Av. So it's really that fast starts this sort of more solemn period of communal mourning that ends with the major fast of the 9th of Av. Then there's the fast of Gedalia, which happens right before Rosh Hashanah, in memory of the Babylonian governor of Judah, who was killed by a fellow Judean at the time of the destruction of the first temple. Similarly, the 10th of Tevet marks the beginning of the Babylonian siege of Jerusalem in 586 BCE. And finally, there's Ta'anit Esther. Fast days can be meaningful days. They can be a time to take a step back, to connect with this moment in our communal history, and to assess our own spiritual courage and to recenter before a holiday or before a moment in time. It's also interesting that Ta'anit Esther this year coincides with the minor fast days of the month of Ramadan in the Islamic calendar. In fact, last week, our congregation did an iftar, a fast-breaking meal, with another Muslim community here in Denver. And one of the things I was struck in my conversations with friends over there in the Muslim community was that how fasting can be a truly spiritual and also communally enriching experience for their community as well. So as we get ready for Purim, and I look forward to seeing so many of you at the HEA for our joyful Purim festivities, I invite us to also take a moment, whether we are fasting or not, for Ta'anit Esther, and to reconnect with what Esther represents in her moment and in our moment. The ability to find our voice, to be able to activate the courage we have to make change in the world, to speak up, to use our power, our vulnerability, and our voice to make a difference, and to be able to connect with the larger story of what this holiday might mean for us, not just in her time, but also in our time. I want to wish you an easy fast for those fasting and a Chag Purim Sameach, a happy Purim.